What's going on, guys? I'm gonna do a YouTube video. I'm out here in the parking lot of Walmart. Just got off of lunch. We're over here doing a big project, putting together a wall. I'm building a wall, okay? Mexico's not paying for this wall. This wall is to keep somebody warm, keep somebody cozy. This wall is not to separate us. It's to bring somebody together, bring a family in there. It's just a wall to so they can go live in their house, because somebody ran a truck through their house. I guess I'll put some pictures somewhere, maybe on my Instagram. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram. I got a Facebook page. I love Instagram. Does anybody love Instagram? If you do, this is the thing about Instagram. If you put some good posts out there with some good content, with some what do you call that? With some hashtags. Oh my God, Instagram, I mean, it does its thing, but the problem with Instagram, it's 1 minute blips. Get a 1 minute blip of your lifestyle. So you got to be like real sharp, real quick. As an INTP, this video is going to be about my personality type. Because I took a dive into psychology. Shout out to Ryan Eagle for encouraging me to take a deep dive into psychology. If you guys don't know who Ryan Eagle is, he's like a fork lord in my eyes, because he became really successful in high school, and I just heard the stories, and that kind of encouraged me to be in business, because I'm like, dude, somebody just made $1 million and they're only 16 years old. Like, I think I'm like a year older, or like, I don't know if I'm in the same grade as him, or was in the same grade, and I was like 17. So like, I was so inspired. I was recording music at the time. I had my own recording studio. I was mainly doing it as a hobby. I was mainly doing it, to have a little bit fun. I was really just trying to understand, what it is to be, an entrepreneur in the beginning. Like, I didn't even know what I was doing. I started making music because of the fact that it allowed me to express myself. Especially as an INTP, we have really hard times expressing our feelings. We bottle stuff in. If you're an INTP, I want you guys to like this video. If you like INTPs, like this video. If you don't know what I'm talking about as an INTP, like the video so I can be like, yo, this is what I'm talking about. If anybody's ever took the Myers Briggs test, you can go to 16personalities.com, take the Myers Briggs test. It's really accurate. Some other circles are saying, oh, maybe it's not so accurate. I don't know, because it's hard to use. It's hard to test yourself. You need somebody else to look at you and test. So there's other ways to test yourself. So pretty much this video is about INTPs. I'm just gonna tell you guys a little bit about me. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been making music. I started making music at 14, 15 area. I got inspired by the Tupac and Notorious B.I.G. battle. Tupac first. I was introduced to Tupac by a guy named Carlton Davis, real good friend of mine. That's my brother. I anything ever happened to him, man, I'll send everything up to the moon. He introduced me to Tupac Shakur. He used to live with us in my mom's house, for a little bit, and we used to just be in the basement just watching Tupac videos all day long, watching his movie he had. I mean, we watched everything, every piece of content. We were looking on the internet. Oh wait, look at this. Look at Tupac. I really thought Tupac was still alive and he was living in Cuba. I mean, I still kind of think that, you know what I mean? Shout out to Tupac if you're living in Cuba. You know what I mean? Kicking it, you know what I mean? Thug life, you know what I mean? So, I mean, that's really pretty much how I really got my start. I mean, I had a lemonade stand, but it only lasted for a day. You know, my lemonade stand literally lasted for a day. Like, I put my stand up. You know what I mean? I had no marketing. I just stood there. I got a bottle of, not a bottle, like a carton of Minute Maid lemonade. I saw a chair. I saw a table. I saw Minute Maid lemonade, and I saw a picture. And I went outside. I was probably, I can't tell you the age. I was under 10. I know that. I was always trying new ideas and stuff. You know, so that was I think that was my first entrepreneur effort. I did the Cub Scouts thing, back then in the 90s, even me as a little kid, I was knocking on doors and people were that scared the crap out of me. People would lock their door. They would have their door open. I'd knock on the door. I'd hear the door slowly lock. I'm like, and I was aware. I knew of this. Like, yo, I'm knocking on the door. You're home. I rang the door, but you're home, but you lock the door. Like, okay, like, what did I do? You know what I mean? So I was kind of exposed to a little bit of a discrimination as a young kid. So that kind of shaped me a little bit as my nurture. I mean, that was just a handful of experiences. I mean, I still sold some more cookies, you know what I mean? So, but stuff like that, negative experiences like that, it could really shape you a little bit. So, shout out to Carhartt. Big fan of your work. As an entrepreneur who's in the construction field, the landscape field, the moving field. I love the workmen's. Shout out to the painters of the world. Shout out. There's some paint. Shout out. Okay. Can I get a shout out to Timberland? Can I get a shout out? I just love to shout people out. I'm a music guy. You know what I mean? I started with this music thing, so now I build houses and remodel, and landscaping is forever. You know what I mean? Like that. I started my landscape business with $35, but this doesn't have nothing to do with business. If you're an INTP, I think you guys need to stop trying to be an employee though, because we're so brilliant that we need to be bosses. Like ASAP. Like, you need to work on your bossmanship. Like, no, like nothing. Like you need to go hard on the bossmanship. Okay, because we know how to put all the patterns together. We know how to do our bids a little differently. We know how to, use our logic to really, be convincing when we're selling our products. You know what I mean? Maybe not as good as an ENFP. Or sorry. Yeah, an ENFP. Those are the master salesmen. Like my older brother, he's an ENFP, really good in sales, amazing with sales. You know what I mean? Like the Gary V's of the world, the Ty Lopez's of the world. You know what I mean? So we may not be as good at sales as them, but we can run the whole company, no doubt. Like, we know how to do it, okay? Because we're systems people. We think of all the possibilities. We think of every single thing, every pattern, every little situation, every nook and cranny, every little bits and pieces. So like I was saying, as an INTP, I got much love for you guys. And one thing I'm realizing on the internet, oh man, I just got a text, somebody's sick. I hate that, man. As an INTP, by the way, also I wanted to mention about myself. I'm sorry I'm talking about myself. It's kind of like I'm introducing myself. So, I don't eat any unsafe products. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really particular with what I put in my body. So that means I don't eat any animals. I don't eat anything that comes from an animal. I don't like to eat things that have been around animals, like real particular, so That stresses me when somebody tells me they're sick. I got to turn my notifications off because that distracts the crap out of me. Shout out to INTPs if you guys got a little ADD, you know, and shout out to the moms and the dads who did not abuse you guys and put you guys on medication. Like, shout out to the moms and dads, like, all day long. Because, you know, I was real grateful that my parents had put me on any medication. You know, I'm glad that they didn't say, Aaron, you know, put them in a sane asylum. You know what I mean? Because I was that kid that just did everything. I was wilding out. You know, I wild out like crazy, you know, like, because like we really live in our own heads, and it's really hard to get us out of our thinking. You know? Oh man. So it's really hard to get us out of our thinking, and it's hard for us to, you know, really just like, you know, get through the world, because the world is just such a vast, complicated thing that it gets a little scary at times, you know? Like, if you guys ever watched A Beautiful Mind, you know, the main actor, Russell Crowe, plays John Nash. That stuff is so real. Like, I remember that stuff real early on, you know, and like, I remember like kind of like seeing things that weren't there, you know, real early, you know, still a little bit to this day, but not as much, because I found out what I am. You know, you gotta find out who you are. You know, this is why I try to preach to people about psychology, learning themselves, really just, you know, taking a deep dive in psychology. Shout out to Ryan Eagle again, because he's a commander. Okay, he's a what are they? ENF? No, he's a ENT J, I believe. Don't quote me on this. ENTJ.